BMW is a brand that's known for sheer driving joy. Rear-wheel drive, massive slides, unassuming cars giving supercar levels of performance. But BMW is now on a slightly different course, different from what it has been on for many, many decades. And this is the car that represents that shift, the 2 Series Gran Coupe. But while it carries the 2 tag in its name, do not mistake it for a bigger version of the 2 Series Coupe. That is a very different car. That is a car that has rear drive layout. And what we have here, the 2 Series Gran Coupe, that is this one, it is a front wheel drive car, and it is basically based on the 1 Series hatchback. So in essence, it is a 1 Series saloon. But let's not get too carried away by what it technically should have been named, and let us focus on what this car really represents. The dynamic shift to front wheel drive and what that really means for BMW, and also the Gran Coupe credentials. BMW is doing weird things when it comes to design execution on its cars. The M8, for example, it's a handsome looking thing, but on the other end of the spectrum, you also have the M3, M4 siblings, and then you also have the X7. The faces on these cars are absolutely appalling. Not even a mother could really love a face like that. And yeah, I think BMW seems to rather have a very confused and silly way of approaching design in its cars these days. 2GC as well, it's a mixed bag. The entire hunkered down and the relatively subdued grille size, it kind of works and looks nice. And thank goodness for the size of this car, because that did not allow BMW to fit those massive grilles. And yeah, it's, I think, served the purpose very nicely in the 2GC. This particular car, it comes wearing the M Sport pack, so you get the front and rear bumper profile, which is nice and aggressive. You get smart wheels, 18 inches in size on the M Sport, and yeah, quite smart overall. But then you get to the back end of the car, and a very questionable design execution over there. Divides the opinions of people, and I think it just looks weird because the boot, it looks like it's been designed by 3 different people who were probably fighting at the time of designing the car, and they just decided to mess things up for each other. And even in profile, the 2GC does not really have that typical coupe look to it. It does try very hard to pass off as one, but it's really somewhere in the middle. Having said that, this unique blue color, when you're going on the road, it really catches a lot of eyes. Now on the inside, things are largely great if you're going to use only the front seats, and the quality for most part is pretty impressive. The front, the entire dash area, the door panels, they're all finished in soft touch materials. And I also like the bit around the gear selector over here in the middle. The flat surface treatment, that's very nice, and the control buttons and the iDrive dial, they all look pretty smart. But I have seen the Mercedes CLA, the new Mercedes CLA that is going to launch later, and that has substantially more drama on the inside. There is a certain level of uniqueness to the cabin, which the 2GC definitely cannot match. The 2GC still continues that subdued treatment. It just feels like, you know, this interior is taken from a much larger BMW and given a size treatment to fit into the 2GC. So yeah, nothing wrong with it as such, but for a kind of car that the 2GC is, I think a more useful cabin would have been a very nice thing to have. The 2GC gets almost everything that you expect from a luxury product. Not that it is all that luxurious, but at least from a segmentation point of view, it sits in that space. You get a 2-zone climate control, you get Bluetooth connectivity, you get wireless charging, you also get wireless Apple CarPlay and only Apple CarPlay, not Android Auto, which is kind of weird. But yeah, going on, you get a good big screen over here, very nice, crisp, communicative. And there is also BMW's assistant that you can get to do some sundry chores by just saying, hey BMW. BMW also gives you a 32 GB storage for some music and maps for the integrated navigation system. And then there is also Park Assist, and there is something that I've always disliked. It is the gesture control system. I think it's a gimmick and it is absolutely not needed. For added convenience and to also give it some GT character, there is also cruise control with braking functionality. So yeah, almost everything that has become a norm these days. There is nothing out of the ordinary in the 2GC, but you get almost everything. I have already said this, it is based on BMW's smallest car, the 1 Series. So space is not a strong point of the 2GC. At best, it's got middling levels of knee room for people at the back. And yeah, the seat back itself is made of hard plastic. So people who are fairly tall are going to have the knees rub against it and it gets fairly uncomfortable. Plus, you also do not have any space to slide your feet under the front seat. In addition to that, despite of being scooped out, the headroom is also not all that great. Seats, they are, however, very, very good. I like the upright seating at the back and the fronts are just lovely. They're designed very nicely, they offer very good support, they hold you very well in place. And it would have been great to have the M seats in here, but well, I guess BMW decided that you can't really have everything. Oh, but one thing, getting in and out of the 2GC, especially from the back, can be a very challenging affair. It does not really open too wide, and it is also because it's not too tall, it is an effort to get in and out of the 2GC. Anyway, let's now come to the most crucial question. Does it drive like a BMW? Does it entertain you from behind the wheel? Let's start with this engine. And BMW currently offers the 2GC only with the diesel engine. It's the same 2-litre 4-cylinder 16-valve engine that you get in the 3 Series. And despite being smaller and predictably slightly lighter, the 2GC is not more rapid than the 3. In fact, it's slower by over a second to 100 clicks. Maybe it is because of the way the drive transfer is managed through the front axle, or maybe it's simply that 3 can't be slower than the 2. So, you know, the smaller sibling cannot really be made to go faster than the 3 Series, which has been an icon and the bread and butter model for BMW for the longest time. So, I think it's just not right for the brand. Probably, yeah, that's why it's the reason that 3 is, with the same engine, faster than the 2GC. But even so, the 2GC with its 190 bhp, 400 Nm diesel engine is plenty fast, and what really impresses is the way it pulls from low RPMs through the entire mid-range as well. And the gearbox, this also plays along like a very good friend. It's only when you start going north of, say, 3500 RPM that you feel some roughness in the engine, and it starts to sort of hold back a little bit. But it is a strong and entertaining engine which will give you an absorbing mid-range performance. So it can be a very good cruising machine. But everything aside, how does the front drive layout feel for a BMW in the 2GC? Frankly, it's not all that bad, but it is kind of peculiar in some ways. The moment you get heavy on the throttle pedal or are just going around some bends while modulating the throttle, it torque steers a bit. It's not all that much, or it's not very alarming, but it does interfere with the overall experience. Over expansion joints or some broken patches, the suspension protests in agitation, but on smooth roads, the ride is fairly pliant and, dare I say, even comfortable in the comfort mode. The chassis overall feels pretty communicative through all the controls, and when you're really pressing on it around bends, You can feel the rear go slightly light, but the outright grip level at the front is fairly high, even with the traction control off. So it can be an excited thing around corners, which will give you a bit of a smile, I'm sure. The steering is also fairly good, very responsive, quite immediate as well. But I don't like the rim thickness. It's unnecessarily massive, but the rim diameter, thankfully, is good enough to manage everything very nicely. I did not have any pre-established expectations or thoughts about the 2GC. This front drive layout in a saloon form is a very different experience from other BMW saloons because they've all been rear drive formats. But it is still very entertaining and unique in its own way. It is definitely not a very practical car because of the lack of space, but for small families or young, rich working executives who really like to drive, this car will kind of work. I really wish we get a high power petrol engine soon because that is going to blow up the entertainment quotient substantially.